Okay, hopefully my mic works now. I was just trying to fix the camera a bit. I'm going to be doing practice streaming all this week, so around this time I'm just going to sign on and do some journaling or show and tell, something to share, and just sort of make this streaming thing a bit more of a habit. It's definitely something that one has to get used to, I think. So what I have here is my 100-day journal. I made this journal myself. I've shared this before, but I basically bound this with exactly 100 pages to do my 100-day project. And if you haven't heard of it before, it's a challenge, like an art challenge sort of, or a creative challenge that was started by Elle Luna. She is an artist and she wrote a book about her experience of how she became an artist from her corporate sort of job. And she started the 100-day project as a challenge to basically like pick something and do it for 100 days um, to sort of start that habit. Um, and the project can be anything. So people, obviously there are a lot of people who are doing art projects, so drawing and sketching, but really it can be anything. People have done, cooking or anything that is of their interest. The point is just to do it every single day for 100 days. So what I picked was actually sketching blooms for 100 days. And the reason why I chose that is because I wanted to practice doodling, basically. And I actually have another doodle journal that is a lot more sort of cutesy, but this is just for florals. So originally what I did was bound this journal and then I wrote a name of a flower on every single page to make it easy for myself to get through it. Even though the sketches themselves are really fast and they don't really take that long, but it's about setting yourself up for success. So it really helped to have like every single flower just decided for the day. So like every day you flip to the page and like you just do it. So when I started out, I actually used this pen or this marker. I don't know. It's the this year's Hobonichi like freebie giveaway. So I think it's like a Pentel sign pen or something. But you can see that the tip is very like it's pretty firm. So I don't know if it's supposed to be a like technic. It is a brush pen, but I don't know. Maybe I for me it seemed really rigid, and you can tell from like the first sketches in this journal, they're pretty tight in a sense. One of my goals was to like loosen up because I really love when people do those really loose, like painterly style, almost like Chinese calligraphy kind of um, paintings. But I myself am always very like tense and wanting to do things a bit too detailed, even though I like a different kind of style. So that's what the project started out being. So you can see using this pen, it's pretty like I'm trying to get details. I'm trying to like duplicate what I see. And of course I use like the edge of I mean, usually I'm drawing like this, but I use the edge of the pen to try to get like um, varying widths for the different blooms. So I'm just going to do like a quick flip through. And I don't know if you can see the writing, but this is like orchid, chrysanthemum, plum blossom, lily, azalea, morning glory, a snowdrop, gladiolus, carnation. And obviously some of these are like really bad. It might really have been like 1 minute, for me to like get it done and just get it done for the day. And I know you guys can probably relate to like a lot of things, they don't take a lot of time, but just depending on how your days go, there are some days where literally it's like an effort just to do that thing. But that's why it's so important to commit to like that 100-day challenge, because when you finish, then you realize like it totally is possible. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but as a whole, it definitely was a worthy effort. and sunflower. And as you can see, I have like a finished pattern of the sunflower here, and I've drawn sunflowers many times. So this sort of leads to the next part of this project. Now that I'm done with 100 sketches, I'm actually going to go back in and draw all of these things digitally. And that's what I usually do. I create digital illustrations and I turn them into repeating patterns or pattern paper designs, basically, and using them as digital printables, meaning like I can print them out and use them for my journaling, or make note cards out of them, or make journaling note cards or memo or stationery paper designs, things like that. So ultimately the goal is to digitize all of these different flower drawings into something that is digital and color and printable. So you can notice here, this is when, this is called the Pentel Sign Pen. That came with the Hobonichi this year if you bought one. And when I got up to this point is when I changed and started using this one that I bought, which is the Pentel brush pen. And you can tell that it is much more of a brush pen and is very, you can definitely get like the varying lengths. But in the beginning, as you can tell, I'm pretty heavy-handed, so all of the lines ended up being just extremely thick, you know. I definitely needed like muscle hand training when it comes to getting thick and thin lines and having better control with my hand in using this pen. That is something that I noticed immediately. So this is sunflower, poinsettia, how do you pronounce this? Poinsettia? Sweet peas, Chinese hibiscus, hydrangea, the pansy, which I already did a digital drawing because I've drawn them before, magnolia, geranium, bauhinia, rose, water lily, poppies, wisteria, lotus flower, fuchsia, narcissus, camellia, and iris, peonies, which again I've already illustrated before, baby's breath, and bird of paradise. I really like this pattern, I just like the colors. Columbine, daffodil, dogwood, forget-me-nots and foxglove, geranium. I guess I've drawn this twice. Did I draw this twice? Sometimes I feel like I went through like a bunch of flower books to choose the different flowers, and I obviously wanted different flowers all the time. I guess this is geranium and geranium, so I guess I must have doubled it. How did I not even realize this as I was doing the sketch? That's crazy, huh? Although this might be a different pelargonium. Obviously there are different varieties, so maybe that's okay, but I might have doubled that up. Marigold and petunia, thistle, tulips, yarrow. And when I couldn't think of like, you know, sort of classic flowers anymore, I definitely went into the weird, like rare or exotic varieties. So this is Utum poluo or Udambara. It's like a flower. I don't know if you consider it a flower really, but they're like tiny little spore-like flowers that grow on other surfaces. It was just really cool looking. This is the Titan arum corpse flower that's supposed to be like really smelly, and it blooms only like, I don't know, once in a very long time. So that was interesting. Snake's head, the night blooming, the queen of the night blooming like cactus flower. The ghost orchid, Gibraltar, Campione, I don't know how to pronounce these. Beehive ginger, hyacinth, cornflower, blazing star, lily of the valley, edelweiss, protea, lavender, wallflowers, and sea poison tree blooms. And obviously these are like, again, 1 minute type of sketches, and so it's more of a study. But once I get on the computer, then I definitely go a bit more detailed most of the time. So we'll see how the patterns or digital drawings end up after this. Jade vine, the common sundew. This is so funky. It looks fake or like something from Super Mario Brothers or something, but it's a real plant. Snapdragons, milkweed, parrot's beak, middle mist red camellia, the flamingo flower, grevillea, matchstick banksia, the flower lips. These are so funny. It's a flower that it totally looks like lips, and again makes me think of like video games like Super Mario Brothers, like that flower that eats people or eats Mario. The Darwin slipper, star flower, the bonnet orchid, lobster claw, bleeding heart, crown imperial, coneflower, red hot poker plant, American beautyberry, the dandelion, silk tree, impatiens, hollyhocks, bee balm, delphiniums, oleander, cooksonia. Apparently this is extinct, so we're going off like scientific studies and journals of what this looks like, but again, looks so alien-like. It's really funny how sometimes the natural world things, they look, alien-like. Witch hazel, baker's globe mallow, violets, nasturtiums, red cypress vines, Thanksgiving cactus bloom and the lollipop plant, rafflesia, coxcomb, myrtle, hyssop. Is that how you pronounce it? Hyssop? The ornamental cabbage, gerbera, craspedia, anemone, and the last one is ranunculus. So those are my 100 sketches, even though I guess I must have duplicated one, so maybe I need to think of a new one. But as you can see, some of them are already digitized and created or made into patterns, and that is what I usually do. I create pattern papers and post them on my Patreon so my supporters can download them and print them to use as pattern paper for their journaling or planners or whatever paper crafting that it is that they like to do. And I realized that I usually really only create like pattern papers, but I realize people must really be looking for more like memo cards or journaling cards or like decorative kind of things to add into their journals and not just background paper. So I definitely want to contemplate creating other types of things as well. So that was me sharing this 100-day journal, and just to keep on practicing like the whole Twitch streaming thing, I'm just gonna jump into some random journaling. So like I'm sure everyone has like a million journals that they use, and you probably have who knows how many journals like to be used, right? But I definitely have a tiny one that is extremely small. This is like A6 size, so it makes it easy to like do a page or record something really quickly, even if I'm busy or need to be doing something else or don't have a lot of time. So what I decided was to make this a journal sort of to record like cool ideas, like collage of a certain type. And usually what happens is that I'm on Instagram, I'm scrolling, I see other people's journaling, and there's something that looks really pretty. Maybe it's like a layout or a certain idea or technique that they've done, and I might not have something that I want to use it for at the moment, but I don't want to forget about it. So I thought it would be good to do that sort of technique or style in a journal like this, because it's sort of like a record of ideas of what you can do for your creative journaling. So obviously a lot of people do like vintage style collaging and that kind of thing. And this is an example of cutting out a window in your paper in 2 pages, and you can sandwich something in the middle, like a pretty paper, or maybe more so something interesting, like framed. And you can do the same thing for like a tiny little frame. So you can see here, this these 2 pages, this is Tomoe River paper, by the way. It's really, really thin, so I can fit like a lot of pages in one book. But these 2 pages, this tiny little hole is like cut into these 2 pages. So what the idea is, basically you would put something in this plastic like leftover baggie, and you would sandwich that in so that you could have this clear window of something cool for this journal page. And what I saw on Instagram was a lot of people use like dried pressed flowers kind of thing, so that's what I want to do. So the other day I like smashed some flowers in here, so hopefully this works. Where did I put these flowers? Tell me they're somewhere in here. So this is my like crazy messy journal, like this giant thing that first started out as like sketching kind of journal and then turned into like smash everything in it. And a lot of it is stuff that my daughter gives me because she's super artistic, but she'll always come home from school and like hand me over stuff. Okay, here's the thing. These flowers that I smashed in here. Although I just realized the page under this is like super colorful, so that's probably not helpful. It would have been nicer if it was something else here. I could probably put something in here to cover it up, or to provide as a better background. Like this white paper, see? So then a flower, oh my god, I just broke this apart. If I were to sandwich this flower piece in here, it doesn't even look like a flower anymore, it's so smashed up, then you would see it better. Although this is not thick enough. I need like a thicker, and double it up. I guess I could sandwich that in as well. I don't know if you can see that clearly. It's like a little tiny purple flower. So the hard part is getting all of this in without it sliding around. And having it stay like in the right spot, because over time it's obviously going to unstick itself. I should put some glue on this. Am I going to remember the spot where it's supposed to be? So I'm just using a glue stick. It's like nothing special. Obviously, if you were really, like if you cared a lot about this kind of stuff, you'd be using like archival, non-acid, like acid-free glue and all of that kind of stuff that would last longer, and it means that it won't yellow. Okay. So this is just like one of those baggies that like a memo pad came in from Sticky Club, so I'm just reusing it. So if I sandwich this in, oh my god, totally messed up on this, like this. So I just need to glue this in the right spot. And obviously, using Tomoe River paper maybe wasn't the best for this because it's so thin, you can see through everything, which was not my intent. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. I had just thought, okay, if I'm going to be collaging a lot of stuff in this journal, Tomoe River paper would be nice because it won't bulk up as much. So I'll be able to fit more pages and more stuff, but Again, it's very thin. And this is the thinner Tomoe River paper, meaning the one, like it's not the ones in the Hobonichi, it's the one that's even thinner because that's just what I ended up having in my stash. So it's probably a bit too delicate for this kind of thing, but it's okay. This is just sort of like a test journal. So you can see now I have this page that has this sort of sandwiched in. And obviously I put this background in here because my next page is so colorful, but it would be cool if it was completely clear, because I think that's what people want to create, like these clear pages and these transparencies that you would like flip and see it. This is another page with, I think my daughter gave me this, and I stuck it in here because it's an envelope and you can use it, any kind of piece of paper on a page, to create like a little pocket area for a tag. So that's a fun thing to do as well. This is, I don't know, random collage, Dino comics from Instagram that I like, so I stuck that in here. It's random. So this little memo taggy thingy is actually from Sticky Club, but I totally let my daughter like use my supplies. It like sometimes it makes you want to cringe because she's only 6, so obviously she's like going nuts and using all the supplies. But I share it with her. So she took this and she wrote these lines because she was like, "Mommy, you can journal with it." And she made me this. So then I just used it on this page to create like a little collage. Then I've got a bunch of these cards, so more journaling to do here. So one thing I realized is that on Twitch, there should be some way to like announce if someone is watching or someone followed or something like that, and I just haven't figured out how to do all of those things properly. Obviously I signed up for it, and I guess using this like Streamlabs OBS, I'm supposed to be able to create all the scenes that are different and see how it works out, so that when someone comes in or someone follows or something, it should like have some notification or something. Still need to figure out all this stuff. I'm just trying to help myself develop the habit of streaming every single day, even if it's for a short period of time, but try to do it like as a regular basis at this time and make it become a habit. And I realize there's probably not a lot of people online right now. I'm located in Italy, in Europe, so in the US everyone is sleeping, but here it's like the morning hours when my kids are at school, so obviously that is when I have time to stream. So most probably my streams are always going to be around this time, unless I can, muster up some other kind of time period. But there might be screaming kids in the background, so I don't know if that's helpful. I also realized it looks all blurry here. It must be the camera focus. How do you do this thing? Ugh. My camera is probably not the best, so that could be an issue as well. Okay, it looks blurrier, right? I guess because this is so high up and it really can only focus on like the center area. So everything is like getting worse. Maybe I should put the camera even closer and so you can only see this. Tried to like diffuse out my lights, but it still looks super, super bright. Is it too much? I don't know. I still need to obviously figure out all of these things. It's funny how like from afar, all of this kind of stuff seems like it shouldn't be a big deal or it shouldn't be that difficult. But once you start doing it yourself, you realize, oh my gosh, it's so much effort is required just to have like a proper setup of how you're going to stream. I wonder if we should try putting this a lot closer, to putting the camera like lower, to see if that's actually a better setup. Hopefully I don't like break everything apart here. Is this better? I'm gonna make like a whole bunch of books fall down right now. This is dangerous because I don't have a proper overhead camera like setup. This is actually like a makeshift kind of tripod thing that I made with a stack of books. Old school, right? I wonder if I should make a break thing here, because you guys are probably going to get like a headache from watching this. Shake around. Let's see if this works if I say be right back. Okay, this is like a different scene that I had created in the past but never really used because I don't actually have another camera to use, not at this moment anyways, for like the frontal one, but can do a test to see if this works properly. So this is obviously like a closer view of my journal itself, but why is the focus so off? Is that better? Can't really tell. I mean, I don't know if I can tell from my end. It's slightly closer. Obviously, this is a very small journal. If I had my other journal out, it would like barely fit in this whole thing, right? I mean, barely, but good enough, right? The thing is, I feel so weird that like you can't read, you know what I mean? What's in my journal, like the focus is that bad, or it's the quality is that bad because of this auto, like whatever auto bitrate thing. So if I have a bad internet connection, it's obviously not going to be very good quality. Is that it? Or it's just the camera that is, or it's my eyes. I don't know. I guess this is the best that I could get it at. So this is another journal that I have that's sort of like it's like a bullet journal style. And what I started doing was actually putting little, I mean, random collages, but more so stickers or printouts of things that I like. So this journal is mostly like this, like Instagram screenshots. Because don't you see like a million things on Instagram that you like? And I know you can bookmark them on Instagram, but when are you ever going to go back and look at your Instagram bookmarks? Or like, what if your account goes away and you don't visit it anymore? The whole thing about having a personal journal or a scrapbook or something is because you're collecting all those things from your life or things that you like for your own records, right? And you know, there's just something about analog that is so different than having it filed digitally. um, I think most of us who like journaling and like scrapbooking, memory keeping, any of that kind of thing, really like the analog version of things. Um, so that's sort of what this is. And I don't know, I have this obsession with wanting to categorize each journal into something different, like for a different purpose. But then I end up just going nuts and doing whatever anyways. Like this ended up having a bunch of stuff that my daughter made for me. So it definitely is just a mix. Oh my God. And these are all like I don't know about you guys, but pandemic times, like how much Netflix have you guys watched? I fell into the hole of like K-drama kind of stuff, so many, and so I keep printing out um, like the cover of whatever series or drama that I actually watch because I just want to keep a note. And I don't know, seeing them all together, maybe that's crazy, but you know, it's sort of funny because like if you have a Netflix subscription, you should use it, right? Otherwise, just don't subscribe. But it does get crazy when you actually see all the series that you watch together. I guess it's the same as like people in the old days who watched television, right? I mean, if you're not watching television, we're watching, you know, streaming things, or you're watching video, or you're spending X amount of time on Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is that is your thing. By the way, I should share these stickers. Oh my god, I love turtles. Favorite animal. We actually have 4 turtle pets in our front yard. It's actually from my late father-in-law, but I like turtles before, you know, before as well, like myself. And now my kids are very much into them as well. And look at these stickers, they're so cute. They're from, I'm pretty sure they're from Sticky Club. Is it labeled here? I guess not. I'm pretty sure they're from Sticky Club, like I bought them as a sticker sheet. But they're so cute. It's like little turtle. I guess the focus is on here. I cannot. Sorry. I'm like technically challenged with the whole camera thing. But they're so cute. They're like turtles doing, you know, just everyday things or funny things. But look how cute is this one? It's like little 2 turtle babies and their cake. This guy, he looks like he's longingly looking out the window, contemplating something on a pillow. Rainy day or rain. This guy's looking at like a little terrarium, like tiny little bottle with a plant in it. This, he's like holding something, but I'm not sure if that is a like male, maybe. Look, he's cleaning his shell. So funny. Even though this is like incorrect, you know what I mean? Because the shells are like connected to the turtles, but it's just cute. Washing, washing. I wonder if there's a double of everything because Sticky Club, a lot of times they might have like the similar illustration, but it's flipped. Actually, this one is exactly the same. This is not even flipped, but like for example, the sleeping, and then this one's flipped on the. Oh, did you see that? This one's sleeping, and this one is flipped on the other side. So in essence, you have 2 of each, you know, sticker illustration, so you could use them or give them away, like give away half to someone else and share. And I realize it would be so nice to have like a stationary buddy that likes the same kind of stuff as you do, because most products, I mean, they're more than enough for one person. So technically, if each of you bought a bunch of stationery supplies, you could just split them in half so that you could trade and everybody would get like a little bit. I think that's why so many people like to do the whole cafe journaling. Like you can share your supplies together because sometimes you really just wanted like that one sticker to put into your journal. So you didn't have to buy the whole pack. But if you buy the whole pack, obviously you can share with a bunch of people. And I think that was the original intent. Also, I have these like sticker flakes. This is not from Sticky Club. I believe this is from Cute Things from Japan. Obviously, they might have this somewhere else as well, but they're like sticker flakes. Super, super cute with this doggy character. So we have a pet dog. We have a fur baby. He's a Westie, so he doesn't really look like this, but you know, he's a white dog, so I always like white dog decorations and stickers. So the only thing about sticker flakes is that they're so hard to use. I don't know about you guys, but I always find it so difficult to like unpeel, you know, where is, look, he's doing like yoga or something. It's so light, you can barely see it. But I think a sticker that is like so light like this would look really good on like a darker background, maybe. But sticker flakes are so hard to like peel, you know what I mean? Like, how the heck? I have nails, but they're still different. Oh, I had this backwards. That's why you saw it so lightly. It's like dog stretching guy, and it's like goldish, so the light is obviously making it look weird. But how the heck do you peel this off? So the sticker flake itself is extremely thin. It's like, see, washi paper kind of thin. And so the plastic behind it is actually way thicker. But I find it so hard to use. And I know some people use like tweezers. I'm just going to stick this here. But I don't even have that, and I totally would mess it up anyways. See? I definitely come from the digital world where things are so much easier when you can just tell the computer what to do, like move exactly one pixel over. So even though I love all the analog stuff and crafting and doing that kind of things, doesn't mean that I'm good at it. I'm really bad at it. I am not precise at all. And again, I like doing things with my hands, but I get hurt a lot, you know, in terms of like a million paper cuts and all that kind of stuff. I love like bookmaking, but I'm very not precise with my bookmaking, even though I've taken the classes and learned. I've gone to like Italian bookmaking official classes, so they teach you like all the things, but then afterwards you realize like I don't need to make a book that's like that fancy. So it doesn't really matter for your personal like personal preferences or personal use that it has to be that perfect. Like you can see these papers, they're not even like perfectly cut and they're like slightly off. But again, this hardcover book, like I made it myself and obviously it's good enough. It's just not, you know, perfect. So it's one of those things where like you learn how to do it, but then you just sort of do it however it is you feel or however it is that is okay for your personal standards. Um, yeah, so I think that's all I'm going to share today. I probably should be better prepared and know what it is I'm doing. I know a lot of people do like plan with me on their stationary journaling times, but that would just be so boring because my planning is not decorative. It's like me writing lists. I'm very functional when it comes to my planning, and I guess that's why I really like the decorative, like creative journaling kind of stuff, because this is the kind of stuff that is fun and I will keep it, whereas my actual functional planner is like lists and checkboxes and that kind of stuff, and then I toss them. I don't keep them. Otherwise, I would just have like so many years of random things of no interest. And I've actually started struggling even with all of this creative journaling stuff because you think about it, like I don't know how old most people are on Twitch, but just in general, you know, think about it, like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of journaling, like how many journals are you going to have? How are you going to keep all of these things? I'm sure people used to always have, you know, photo albums and things like that, but there were a lot less before, and now there's just so much. And of course, people use like digital frames and things like that. So I don't know, everyone has to sort of figure it out. So I really haven't figured it out yet. Although sometimes I do go through like a massive binge and I go through my old journals and actually rip out pages and rebind them into new journals of things that I wanted to keep and like eliminate a lot of the older stuff, which I know is really weird. Like that doesn't really make sense, right? Because the whole point of journaling is to keep them. But I didn't start like Hobonichi a long time ago, which obviously would have been a lot neater because like one A6 Hobonichi would be in an entire year. So it's only one book, but I would have like, you know, 10 journals for 1 year and it just gets crazy over time. Um, so I didn't give myself a schedule for my 100-day project in terms of the designing that I'm going to do for this 100-day project. I think just going to play by ear and see how much time I have. But I still do my daily doodling, which I guess is sort of like sketching, but it's more like doodling, so like cutesy kind of drawings, and sometimes it's not anything to like share or brag about or anything. It's just, again, practice. Like, so every day do something to keep it as part of your creative habit or my creative habit. So I have this Johan schedule book. Johan is like a Taiwanese designer artist, and so lots of products and things of this style, and I really love it. So I started this doodle journal this year, and it's obviously meant to be like a planner, um, but I don't use it, and I don't know what to do with the monthly spreads. And what I mean by I don't use it is that I don't use it as a planner, I use it as a daily doodle journal. And the reason why I wanted this is because the planner style, instead of being like, you know, the long, like 1 week on one page, or not as much as a hobonichi that is like 1 day on one page, which is a lot more space, and not like the vertical sort of planners that you see a lot, like Erin Condren or what are they, like Happy Planner and that kind of stuff. This layout is like the square layout, so it is 1 week on 2 pages, but they're like this rectangles, which I just thought was a lot more conducive to sketching. So I started it this year where I just do a sketch a day. But the months, I don't really know what to do. And obviously I haven't kept up. Like, I guess I could have done like another tiny doodle for each month, but I just didn't do it. Or maybe I could like backtrack and go back and do the Hobonichi challenge. Like, there's prompts, but I have this, I don't know, love-hate kind of thing. Prompts are very helpful when you don't know what to do and you're at a loss and you just want like a list to go through. But then I also rebel against them and they make me feel stifled and I don't want to follow the prompts, which is why I don't follow prompts for my daily doodling. I just doodle whatever I feel that day. And sometimes it's like really bad, like, you know, simple whatever marks or whatever. And other days it's better, or better in the sense that, you know, I like what I draw versus, you know, not liking it, basically. So it varies. It definitely varies. But, um, you know, that's my daily doodle journal. Oh my gosh, this light is so bright. I like try to do this whole diffuse light thing, but let me change the. Okay, is this better? That you see it larger and more close up? I still need to work on this whole Twitch thing and setting things up. And obviously also figuring out how to add like the various widget thingies on this. Can I do that in real time? Like mess around with this scene? Everything is new to me. So alert box, what is an alert box? It shows that if there's a donation, a subscription, a follow, a bit, or a host, but it's like this zombie guy running, because I guess that's the default. Like, I have no idea how to change these things. Like how to change it or personalize it, because I definitely can create graphics, but I just don't know how to do all of these things yet. So there's a chat box. I thought I already added the chat box. Did I not do that before? Oh, it's over here. Wait, but if I add the chat box, there's gonna be like writing over the video. Is that not weird? I don't know how small it can be. Chat box. Should do this test. Test something in the chat box. Oh, it did show up. See? I just typed something here. So I guess it could be here. Guess it would have been nicer if there was a background. Let me try something. So this is the version I created that would have the chat box. And I think I can test it to be like, if there was a follow. Oh, that's where it shows up. But see, there's the zombie guy. Like, what the heck? I don't want a zombie guy. It's scary, right? Like, it's something that I need to obviously fix. Anyway, so let me just end it here. Thank you for watching, and I will be here every day for a certain amount of time, like it's my 10 a.m., but obviously around the world it's a different time. So I'm just doing that sort of test streaming on a daily basis to sort of get my bearings and figure out what it is I want to do. If you like journaling and if you like digital printables, definitely check out my blog. It's tortagialla.com. You can see it up on top where it says find freebies on my blog. Tortagialla.com, you can go to /blog. And basically, I have every single one of my blog posts is sharing some digital printable that I'm offering totally for free. There's like no strings attached. You do not have to sign up for my newsletter or anything like that. I know that's like probably anti-marketing, um, but I just don't see the point of like forcing people to subscribe if they're just going to subscribe, download the thing, and then unsubscribe. So you can go to my blog there and check out all the different freebies that you can download that can help you in your journaling. There's pattern papers. There's also a variety of like stationery, journaling cards, sticker printables, and even if you aren't able to make your own stickers, if you any digital image or anything that's pretty, right? If you print it out, you can just cut it and collage it and use it in your journaling. So it works just as well. So as soon as I can figure out these multiple camera things, I think this setup would obviously be nice. Otherwise, I will go back and just go to this setup where you can see the journal, my journal, a lot more close up. And hopefully that works. So thank you so much for stopping by today, and I will see you next time.